My name's Luke and I'm a youth leader here at Golden Grove Lutheran Church, and here is my testimony. About 4 years ago I'd been involved with the healing ministry for a while, but while I was umpiring I fell over. As umpires do, they run backwards and I happened to trip and landed on both my wrists, and my left wrist I landed on heavier, and about 5 or 10 minutes afterwards, after that fall, I knew that I had hurt it, and a golf ball sized lump started to appear. So yeah, during the game I was obviously I was still running but in pain. Went first thing in the morning to the hospital and went up to the counter, and the lady said, "Look, what's wrong?" Wanted to know why I was there, and so showed her my hand, and she came out of a little office thing and came around, and the first thing she did was, with her left hand, she grabbed my hand as to handshake, and she just shook it, and I just sunk like a potato, and it was so painful. Anyway, so then after that went back to the waiting room, and another doctor called me over, asked me what was wrong, and booked me in for a scan. So back I went to the waiting room, went in for a scan, did that, then went back to the waiting room and waited a while. Bloke got the scans and could tell that the scaphoid was broken and possibly the radius. So what they did is they booked me in for another scan, and it was it would have been just over 7 days' time to check for the radius, and the reason why they did that is to wait for the swelling to go down, so that they could see it more clearly. So what they did is they put me into a half cast, so basically a cast with some bandage so it was easier to get off that week later. Following Wednesday night, went to prayer healing session and had prayer for it. The group, it was funny, I walked in, I can remember it so clearly, I walked into the house and everybody was like, "Oh no," and I couldn't escape. But that was the reason why I was there for prayer. And anyway, so that night had prayer, didn't feel anything, didn't experience anything, which I guess that's what happens sometimes. But from that point onwards, I was thanking Jesus for my healing, because I knew that, I know that he had paid for that on the cross. So over the next few days, up until the Tuesday when I had my next scan, I was just constantly thanking Jesus for my healing, expecting that something would happen, and that I would receive my healing. But up until the Tuesday, up until about an hour before my next scan, I hadn't felt anything. And at the time I was at uni and I was on the couch watching Ellen. I was laying there, and then it was just like pinpoint electricity. It was pinpoint. It was almost pain racing around my arm. And when that happened, I knew something. I was like, "Thank you, Jesus." And so that happened, I don't know, for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And then I just fell asleep. I just had a little nap. So I woke up, big grin on my face, got up, got ready to go to the hospital again. Went to the hospital. Obviously, I was 100% confident that I knew that I was healed and that my arm wasn't broken. So the first thing I did was, so I had my scan. When they took the half cast off, my hand was, it wasn't 100%. Like I could feel that I was, it was hard to move my fingers. So at that point there was a little bit of doubt that came in. But throughout the process I remembered what happened just an hour ago, and I saw them go in with the scans into the room, and he was in there for a while,
and my confidence started to grow again. And he came back out and he grabbed another person. So they were in there for a while, and then finally called me over, and he didn't really have much to say. But he said, look, here's your scans. This one says that your scaphoid's broken. This one doesn't. And your radius certainly isn't broken either. And I was, I knew what had happened.